So imagine we've got an acute low back. Okay, now the bridge exercise generally is done, if you just bring your legs up, with the feet fairly close together. Yeah, in fact, in a Pilates exercise. And so if you just lift your back really, yeah. And what that does in a traditional pose, which is actually quite hard to do when someone's back's either very stiff, and yours is somewhat, or, and pop it down again slowly. Right, so what we see a level of excursion. Now in someone very acute, they probably wouldn't get 2 centimeters off the ground because it would just be too painful to do, yeah. And in someone very stiff, they'd also find they wouldn't get to that sort of diagonal between the knee and the shoulder, okay? So even with you, that was a little bit tough at a point, yeah? Now, what we want to do is make exercise easy and effective. Yeah. So communicating that with the patient is really important because nobody wants to do painful exercise, even if it's helpful. Right. So what we're going to do is just, for the time being, just pop your hands just up, just on your front. That's fine, okay? So the way I'm going to do it that's quite different is to actually put the feet, in this instance, and you'll find that quite difficult because your adductors are quite tight and the hip girdles are tight. Get them quite wide, okay, to start with. Now that's quite different than the original start position we had. And if you just put your hands down now, just flat down, what we're looking to do is to bring your heels towards your fingertips. So that sort of distance back. Now, and just bring your big toe. What happens, the further back you go, the more rotation starts to happen because of the glutes. So you want to just turn the feet in so your feet are parallel, okay, which is quite hard for you to do. Put strain actually in lots of areas, and we can't see from that side, but puts lots of areas onto these peronei as well. Okay, so now we want you to do that same bridge, but differently. I want you to actually use the thigh muscles and your calf muscles to do that bridge, not your back muscles. Okay, so pushing up. Okay, and now you should find that's a little bit easier to do, less effort, because now the legs are doing the work and the back, just drop down slowly, is actually basically doing less work.
But it is still working.
But it's still working, and your pelvis needs to stay quite free. Now, most of the time with so-called core exercises, which we're not doing here and we don't want to do, is that the core gets so engaged with the lumbar spine that you're peeling the back off the ground. And that is an exercise a lot of people do for core strength. But the trouble is you're developing tension as well as anything else. Yeah.